I bet you're like me, and in the past, I went to lots of seminars, I read a lot of books, I took action, but I didn't quite achieve every single goal that I had set out for myself. I got close, or maybe not close at all, but never smashed through some of those goals. And I have learned over many months of training and learning that we all have these limiting beliefs, and they stop us from reaching our true potential. Hello, my name is Megan. I am a certified NLP practitioner and transformational coach, and welcome to my series on what is NLP. Most likely if you're here, you've heard the term, but might not know exactly what it means or how it applies to your life or to your goal setting, which is often why people first learn about NLP. I bet you're like me, and in the past, I went to lots of seminars, I read a lot of books, I took action, but I didn't quite achieve every single goal that I had set out for myself. I got close, or maybe not close at all, but never smashed through some of those goals. And I have learned over many months of training and learning that we all have these limiting beliefs, and they stop us from reaching our true potential. So if you're with me today, it's most likely that you've got a goal you're trying to reach, but you've got a limiting belief that's getting in your way. So what do we do about that? Well, today, let's first break down and talk about what NLP is, who's using it, why they're using it, and how it's going to help you break through your limiting beliefs and reach that awesome life that you know you deserve. You just need the right tools and the right coaching to get there. So what is NLP? NLP simply stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. So let's break it down. Neuro is simply your nervous system, your mind, and through which we use that to process all of our experiences by our five senses: our visual, our auditory, our kinesthetic, our olfactory, and our gustatory. Linguistic is just our language and all the nonverbal communication systems through which our neural system representation, it codes that information, it orders it, and then gives meaning to it. So all of the pictures that are coming at us that we're seeing, the sounds that we hear around us, the feelings that we have, or the things that we touch, the tastes from all the food that we have, the smells, whether good or bad, and it's also our words and our inside self-talk. We're taking all of that. That is all of our linguistic area. And so lastly, we're taking that and we're running it through our programming, our internal representations that we all have. It's our ability to discover and to utilize the programs that are running inside us, often unconsciously. We don't even know that we're running these programs. And then we use that to hopefully achieve our specific desires and our outcomes. So NLP, as I mentioned, has a very specific purpose. And depending on your internal representation, you will take that information and process it a very special way. For example, some of you out there, I have driven absolutely crazy. And the reason for that is not only do these letters not match the same, I've got block and I've got bubble, but then I've got a striped letter down here and in a completely different color. Some people probably didn't even notice, nor do they care. But some of you, because of your internal representation systems and the way you program and use that information, it's making you nuts right now. And I apologize for that, but it's just to make a point. So who's using NLP in your everyday life? Let's say the dirty word, politicians. Politics, whether you get involved or not, are some of the best users of NLP. Their slogans are designed and crafted perfectly. They choose very specific words because they want you to feel an emotion. They're evoking something from you so that you will align with their beliefs and get you to vote for them. Nothing in politics is done haphazardly. Trust me. You will start noticing after you've learned NLP, every time a political ad comes up, you're gonna be aware of what they're doing, and you're gonna be able to take it apart and say, not gonna work on me this time. Same thing as I mentioned with marketing. It's all designed with purpose and an intent. And the other area you might not recognize is actors and comedians, especially comedians. They are masters of NLP. And trust me, they're using something called anchoring the entire time they are on stage. Chris Rock, I love him. He is a true master of NLP. Next time you're watching one of his skits, pay attention about the way he moves, the things that he does. They're all intentional. Every time he lands a joke and the crowd laughs, there's a very specific movement that he does. And whether you realize it or not, your unconscious mind is anchoring that. It's remembering. And he does it over and over again during the whole time. Every time you laugh, he hits that same move. And so at the end, when he does it again, he may not even say anything funny, but your mind says, hey, that moment, that movement, it's connected to a feeling of enjoyment and laughter. And so you laugh and you leave with this fantastic feeling, and it's the best show you've ever seen. So all of these areas, they're using them on purpose to get you to feel something and then to act. But now you're going to be aware of it. And you might still act, but you're going to act in a purposeful way. So what does all of this actually mean for you? And why do we even care? You probably noticed all these symbols on the board. And I'm sure you easily recognize them all because marketing is all based on NLP. We all know which companies these are. We don't even need a name. We just recognize them because their marketing is that good. And most likely, every single one of these symbols, whether you realize it or not, created an emotion in you as soon as you saw them. And that's the best marketing. It creates an emotion, which then gets you to act upon that emotion to do whatever it is that the marketer wants you to do. Is it to buy a certain product? To click on a link in that ad when you were scrolling through Facebook and the ad popped up? Click here. It's all designed purposely to get you to do something and act in a certain way. So why do we care? What does it matter? Whether you realize it or not, that information that you're taking in all the time is doing exactly what I just said. It's getting you to create an emotion and act in a certain way. So the commercial maybe that you just saw on TV, you weren't hungry, but all of a sudden you heard that ad for the local fast food joint. And now, man, you know what? I didn't know how hungry I was. And you know what? There's nothing in my fridge. Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna get in my car and run out, pick up some food. I just saw a commercial for enter in your local food place. And where do you end up next? It's all designed on purpose. So how do we use that to crush our limiting beliefs, to hit all of our goals that we want to achieve so we can have the most excellent life? That's where this series and I can help with that. We're going to teach you how to be aware of all of this external information that you're taking in and how you're using it to create your representation of the world, and how you hack that system, hack your mind essentially, to be able to go out and crush all those beliefs that you've just not quite made it through yet. That's where coaching with me comes into play. I can help you get through all of those things. So I hope you've enjoyed this first video in the series. Be sure to tune in for the next at the link below, and we'll start getting into the basics of NLP and how we start hacking our minds so we get you to exactly where you want to be.